I think the business starts fundamentally with finding the right product, be that the best beef, lamb, poultry, and great craftsmanship.
Getting the right product is the first thing. You haven't got that, it doesn't matter where you go. And our job is quite simply to find the best product for the chef. So if I go and see a chef and say, we'd like to sell you some meat, please, sir, there has to be something in it for him to use us. And the big thing that chefs tell us is that they know they can close their eyes and put that product out and know it's going to be good.
Every time a polystyrene box come to the back of a restaurant, it was the one thing I never had to check. I always knew, once we took a sellotape off, that everything would be in great nick, great provenance. It was always there, the count, the weight was always there. And Peter said it was one of the greatest accolades he could ever be given, really, because I'm pretty tough on the back door. But Aubrey Allen is so thorough.
Aubrey Allen is a way of life. It's different from everywhere else. Not only that, the pleasure of working here, the people you work with, is a different environment. It's a caring company, that's the first thing. The family side of it as well. And the quality of the meat that we use is a pleasure to work with.
People know that when they buy a product off us, it'll be what it says it is. That it's a brand, if you like, that they can trust. And that's massive today.
Aubrey Allen, simply the best. As catering butchers, they're unsurpassed in this country. The top company, as far as I'm concerned.
Consistency is the hardest thing to find in the food industry. That's what we aim to do, and we aim to do that by going right back to sourcing the product. That's the key part of our business, really. The animal's got to be looked after, it's got to be cared for. So, in short terms, we like happy animals. And the great irony of it all is that happy animals make better meat too.
It's just great to work with kind of people like this, because we are passionate as well, and obviously without his produce, we cannot do any good dishes, if you know what I mean. So, very important relationship for me. I think it's crucial to always have this consistency. It's a friendship, it's a collaboration, it's an entente, cordial almost.
Your suppliers are as important as your chefs. We've been flying the Aubrey Allen flag for certain meat products. We need to have butchers like that have got a good sort of foresight and are able to utilise the whole beast, making interesting cuts, instead of the bog standard cuts that everyone's kind of used to, really. They're inspirational.
What sets us apart from other butchers, I think it's primarily the sourcing, not only where we get it from, but how, so buying in whole carcasses, whole rump and loins, and then what we do with it butchery-wise, and really Dad, Peter, was the visionary for that.
The thought process, particularly in France, wasn't about the butchery, it was about the person that was going to eat it. I was serving these chefs who were telling me that butchers in England didn't know how to cut meat. And of course, the first reaction to that is that the chefs were stupid. After taking a couple of aspirins, I realised that maybe we were just prehistoric monsters.
They are a special company, and in my experience, one of the very best butchers in this country, consistently producing brilliant meat, expertly butchered, all sorts of different interesting cuts. They're very approachable, and I've developed a very special relationship with them.
We were preoccupied with how much per pound things were. The art of the butcher is to take a carcass and sell all of it and make a profit. And if the average price of something's £5 a kilo of an animal, we're going to sell some parts at £10 a kilo and some parts at £2 a kilo. And there is a perception that the £10 per kilo is the better cut. The biggest myth is that fillet steak is the best part of an animal. And it's the most tender. Is it the best? I don't think so.
Peter was supplying Petit Blanc when I started working with Raymond Blanc in '96, and I learned a lot alongside Raymond. It's really those guys that provided a lot of inspiration about putting great food on the plate. Peter was the natural choice when we started Peach Pubs, and then obviously spent the last 10 years really working with Russ as well. Great friends, great suppliers.
I think 80 years for us is a fantastic achievement, and taking over from people like Aubrey and Peter is obviously a great honour. They've built the business fantastically well.
The big wonderful thing is that we share the same values. There is absolutely a seamless change in philosophy in our company. The philosophy remains the same. We care for our clients, we care for our staff. Those things are critical.
We do have a good relationship with all the staff. I was actually looking at the length of service, and some of them this year have actually been here 18, 21 years. And it's a long time for somebody to be here.
The way Peter and Russell have brought this business along that was started by Aubrey Allen 80 years ago is just absolutely amazing. And to having received the Royal Warrant late last year, we were notified. It was just an absolute icing on the cake, and I'm so proud.
We were delighted going into our 80th year to receive the Royal Warrant. We had a letter come through on the 24th of December. I was working in the shop that day, and Simon rang me to let me know, and it was great news. We'd applied, but you never know whether you're actually going to get accepted. It's quite a rigorous process. The whole company is looked at, from its corporate social responsibility to the provenance of what you do, to your accounts, and making sure that you're the type of company that the royal household is able, I suppose, to endorse on some level.
This business is not recognisable to the one we had 35 years ago. And I suspect in 35 years' time, this business we have now will not be recognisable. Even in 10 years' time, that's probably the case. The thing that will remain whilst ever Russell and I are around is that the philosophy, the care, that will remain the same.
Our aspiration is just to do a great job. Our aspiration is not to double, treble the size of the company. It might be to improve the quality and look for different areas that we operate in, but fundamentally it's always about giving the best to our customers that we can.